2,
1. Welcome. Good afternoon to everybody who's watching. I was actually on live earlier talking to somebody. So today we're going to do 2 lives. Yes, we are, because that's just how we roll. This is episode 2 of today of the How Change Changes You podcast. And I am super duper excited. I've been willing this conversation for a few weeks now, because I am joined by the fantastic Amy and Chris, which I'm going to let them introduce themselves fully from the Vibe into Wellness event that is at Beamish Hall Hotel. This conversation I've been wanting to have is because I attended their event in May, the first one, which we'll talk about. And I'm going to be speaking at and attending and joining in at the next event, which is this Sunday, the 15th of September. And I know through talking to loads of people that they're super curious, like, who are these people and why did they start it? And, you know, all of those good things. So we're going to dive deep in today about actually putting on an event, because that is how you handle change. So it's all very exciting. So we're going to be talking about that. So without further ado, Amy and Chris, would you like to introduce yourselves to the beautiful people watching?
Hi.
Amy, do you want to start? Yeah.
I'm not moving my hands. Yes, Amy from Good Vibrations. That's about it.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
Amy and Chris from Good Vibrations Conscious Community. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
As simple as that.
Do you want us to tell you a little bit about?
I was going to say, let's start off by kind of how this event came about, like fundamentally, because I think that's what people are dying to know. In terms of, you had this idea about bringing these events into being.
Yes.
What started it all off for you?
With me, meltdown. What about you?
Same.
Right?
We both hit a bit of a wall. We were taking on a lot. We were wrapped up in work.
Oh, I think we appear to have frozen. Chris is in mid-sentence. Oh, we're back again.
It was like I say, I was committed to football teams too much. I was taking too much on, same as you, wasn't it, really?
You got your own business.
We're back again. I think the internet just decided to freeze on us, but sorry, Chris.
I couldn't say anything, God knows what. I've sat on my hands, so.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Technology. So, Chris, you were saying, and I heard a little bit of it, that basically you were both taking on too much, respectively. And so hitting a bit of a wall.
Yes, I think we're both in it. Like, basically, we're surrounded by people doing stuff that we didn't really want to do, and it's a bit of a lonely experience. That I think that's, like I say, once you're stuck in a rut or something and you feel like you're forced to do it, you're just on a downward slope, I think, after that. And I think we're both kind of, well, you reached out to me, didn't you? And then we're kind of like.
Mine was, I was a, what do you call it, workaholic.
Yeah.
So I just burned myself out and not realising I burned myself out. And then with me, it was kind of the case, I was reaching out to you going, right, okay, what's going on? I'm not very well. And then just trying to find things to start looking after yourself. And then at first kind of finding it quite difficult, because talking about mental health and things within my family, it was a case of like, mental health, what's that? And then we'll go to the doctors, Amy, just go take some meds or just go do this and go that. And it didn't really align with us, or it didn't feel right. So I was just trying to, how did I get myself into this mess? So how am I going to start getting myself out of it? And that's when we started talking about different practices that we were both doing, taking time out for yourself.
Yeah.
With me, therapy and then holistic practices, just finding lots of different things, and then just meeting up and wanting to do things together. Like, what's working for you? Why are you finding that that's working?
It was
and that was kind of the origins, I think, a little bit of it, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was just like we were on, like online. I was texting her in stuff. Have you seen this? Have you seen that? And then, like, obviously we got onto like cold water, didn't we? And we started doing that.
Now he's a junkie. Yeah.
Now I'm a cold water junkie. Yeah. And then that was it. We were just looking out for each other. And then that's when obviously the invite was, do you want to go to this wellbeing event? We'll have a look up there. And that's when it pretty much started, didn't it?
No, we went there. We enjoyed it. It was a nice day. And we thought, you know what, there's loads of little different things going on. And we would have liked to maybe get involved with some of the practices and tried them a little bit more instead of just everybody being behind a stall. And then with some of them, we thought it would feel a little bit hard to approach stalls sometimes, if that makes any sense. Just going up and saying, right, okay, what is it that you're about? So we liked the idea of a space where you could just try things in bite size, and then it being a little bit more casual and relaxed, and it's not too, oh my God, I've got to be like super into mental health, I've got to be really fit to attend this. Just try and keep it relaxed where everybody feels welcome and you can pick what you want to try, see what's right for you. And that was the kind of go of it. And then we just we'll stuff it. What is it? What's this going to look like? How are we going to do it? And yes, really.
Yeah. So something that you said, Amy, earlier, and this was my experience, right? Because I've had a few burnouts in my life. And the common thing that I talk about with people is that often, and, you know, even when you know the stuff, like I've been burnt out and this is my profession as a coach, right? That it happens again and again that you don't realize you're burning out.
Yeah.
So
changes its face a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. When you both like reflect on like where you were, looking back, what were the signs that you were like, oh my God, I can't continue with this?
With me, obviously, I was running. The problem with me is I couldn't say no to stuff, and it was always it was like, I'll not let anybody else do it. I would rather do it myself, so then I know things are done right. But then it was like I can't do everything, so then I was letting people down, and then I thought to myself, hard on myself. So then it was like it just started chipping away at us a little bit. But then obviously, you know what I mean, with us not thinking right, it snowballed a little bit. So then, like I say, I knew I had to start just ticking stuff off. I said to myself, if anybody's like leaning on us, or I'm out of my comfort zone where I'm not happy with what I'm doing, I'm just getting rid. And I had to start like spending a little bit of time with self-care on myself. And then obviously you the same, we're going through this, and that's how we kind of connected, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think like at the time I didn't realise I was poorly. I don't know how, looking back, I didn't realise, but it was like it started off probably in my day-to-day as anxiety, not really knowing what anxiety was at the time. Just thinking, oh God, my stomach's, I need the toilet. To just feeling like that all the time. And then that progressed into probably panic attacks again. At the time I didn't know it was panic attacks. I lost loads of my hair was falling out. I was becoming socially withdrawn. Again, didn't realise that I was doing all of these things. I was very short-tempered with people. I lacked patience. I didn't feel like myself, but at the same time, that became me normal. And then the panic attacks got so bad that one day I was banging my head off the bathroom floor, and my partner came in and scooped us up and said, "This stops now, Amy. Like, I don't know what's going on with you, but you need to now go get some help." And it wasn't until that day really that I thought, shit, like who am I? Like what's going on here? I frightened myself that much, because it's like, I know I sound like a crazy person, but I had like, I've always been a chatter upstairs, but I had multiple voices going, you just need to man up, like sort yourself out, what's the matter with you? You've got a wonderful life, like get on with it. And then I had this other little voice saying, Amy, like just slow down, just take 5. And I couldn't pick a side, if that makes any sense. So that's when I was like, and that was the turning point for me. And then I went to therapy and all the rest of it. And she started talking about pyramids of responsibility and all these different things. And I just started reflecting on how I'd been behaving and what was going on in my life. And I was going, yeah, you're not well. Like, why won't you just take your foot off the pedal? Like, why won't
Yeah.
you put yourself first, like, and see what's actually going on? Because if you don't show up for yourself, you actually kind of show up for anybody else, Amy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and you're not showing up in a good way that you're proud of anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So I think
totally.
that was my signs, but it was, I think I had to hit the button, but I think it was quite hard in order to be able to see it, because the lighter symptoms at the time, I couldn't see it. It's only when I look back and going, you kept on pulling your hair out in the shower and there was clumps of it going down and you just didn't even think anything of it. You thought, oh, shampoo's a bit odd. And it was like, I wasn't well. Do you know what I mean? But hindsight's a wonderful thing. You know what I mean?
It's a wonderful thing. No, and that's why it's amazing. And thank you both for you being like really transparent and honest about it, because I think this is why we need to talk about this stuff, because a lot of people I work with, a lot of friends in my own personal experience, you do things that you just think, this is not me anymore, but you just keep struggling on and like forcing your way through life, thinking, oh, I just have to like, you know, pull my socks up and get on with it. And I think what we're seeing is now of actually, but if I could like write one prescription, like as a coach, it would be for more self-compassion, because we're so hard on ourselves, like generally, and we wouldn't be like that with other people, would we?
See, I think it's the background we come from and the age we are. I think we've always come from that man up, you know what I mean? Like background, like we were, like, you know, you never, like I say lately, obviously talking about males talking about their mental health and stuff. It was never a thing. It was just never a thing. And like I say, I think that's another boost why I want to get involved with this, because I've lost friends. Do you know what I mean? And basically, I'm a big fear of loneliness. And I think that's like pushes me on to create stuff for people and bring people together, like little things like that, like the group, the Dippers Club.
Yes.
We only had a little small group and it's starting to expand, but it's getting people out. It's bringing they're bringing the kids with them. They're getting off the computers. It's everything we've done as a kid. Yes. And so and I think you've got to get back.
Yeah. It's back to basics, isn't it? I think that's the thing. That's the reality of it. Because, and like we're all the same generation in terms of we weren't ever on screens. Like, okay, we watch TV, going live, all the rest of it. But generally speaking, we're out on our bikes. We were out in nature. We were doing stuff. And I think now what we're seeing is there's so much screen time. It's just not healthy for us.
No.
Totally agree.
No. But I think that's what's so wonderful about what you guys have created. And I think it's so lovely that you have actually found the support for yourselves personally and then thought, God, well, if this is my experience, then other people could benefit from this as well. And then that's how you've just brought all of these practitioners together. So do you want to talk about, like, obviously you had the idea and then you were like, right, now what were the first kind of few ideas that you had about putting on the events and stuff?
I have a to-do list and a spreadsheet.
Organisation.
She loves categories. She's like a walking Excel. She's like
coloured highlighters if you give us the chance.
All in a box. No, but we had a load of mad ideas at first, didn't we? It was just like, right, let's just get them all out, scratch them off, and then. But like, I think we both, when we come out of that event, we've seen what could have been better in it, and then with Amy having this place, you just put two and two together. It wasn't hard to work out in a way.
Yeah, I think it was like some of the key things that we were thinking is it's got to be accessible for everybody, and then at the same time, I think lots of people have got different backgrounds. Like some people are into physical fitness and they find that great. Other people, get me away from the gym, I can't think of anything worse. Whereas some people are spiritual, some people want to try things which are more science-based, some people want to try things which are just more intuitive. So it was trying to say, right, okay, how do we create an environment where all of that can have its own little space? It's not too niche. It's just, it's something which is accessible for people in our area. It's just, it's an easy entry into kind of well-being, if you will. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing that we were thinking is, let's try a little bit of everything. Yeah. Let's have the ice baths outside. Let's try a bit of Reiki and things like that.
Yeah.
Let's try a little bit of, what was it? hit exercise. I love Michelle, but Jesus Christ, that woman's trying to kill us. Do you know what I mean? It was just bringing all those little different things and stuff together, those little tasters.
I think as well, like what we learned was like the more good people that come together, more good things were happening.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I said to you from the start, I said I feel like I'm on a little bit of a journey here. It was crazy because like from what my life, if I told you what my life was like 3 years ago, it would be nothing like what it is now. And it's like, and I just thought, let's just go with this. And then just like I say, things have just been like dropping into place. It's been crazy. Like but I think that's when you meet good people that want to help and they want to support. Yeah. And it just gets, then you just want more good people together.
Yes.
And then you think, what could happen now? It's like, it's just so, you're just curious, aren't you?
It does,
yeah. No, I love that. And that makes total sense. Because then people, my belief is people are intrinsically good.
Yes.
And I think people want to help. And I think what you guys have created, and I said before we got on live, is this like buffet, this smorgasbord of like well-being goodies, of like workshops or practices that you just think, oh, I've never tried that. Oh my God, I'd love to try that. And it just gives you this freedom to kind of go, oh, I'm just going to go along and see what happens, which is great.
Yes, yeah. And it's the same with the little talks and things like that. I'm saying little talks, shouldn't say little talks. It's the same as with the talks and things like that, is it? Not everybody wants to get up and always do something. It's like sometimes people want to listen to something that they find interesting, and they're a lot more about finding it that way. It's like what's like some of the people that we've got at this time, it's like about nutrition, gut health, or like medicinal mushrooms and things like that, and some of the things that are being pioneered in the world of mental health and things like that. So again, that's been diverse to think about what's the different talks and things that we have on to keep that a little bit exciting and different, isn't it?
I think as well, we went to see Morad talked, didn't we, in Sunderland, and it was about psychedelic studies and stuff. And basically, we just like thought, right, or like we learned a lot, and we want to learn a lot. And I think when, like what I was saying before, like when you're putting that much on, it's just constantly learning and teaching, or like, you know what I mean, all the time. And I just like I'm too curious, me, and that's like.
I don't think you can ever be too curious. I think that honestly, I think being curious is a superpower, because do you know when you were saying, Chris, that like if you'd looked at your life 3 years ago, it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that actually you're just even more open-minded now.
Yeah.
Because I think the more open you are, the more you're gonna come across stuff that you think, that's brilliant. Like it's helped you, and it's made you feel good, and it's made other people feel good. It's a win-win.
It is, but sometimes from the outside you think, that's not me. Don't you? It's like I've still got to talk them into a couple of breath work. But from the outside, you think, that's not going to be for me. I'm not going to like it. But then once you actually try something, you're like, you know what? Actually, I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought. Or sometimes it works the opposite. I think I'm going to love that, but actually that doesn't work for me at all. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you have to experience these things, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got to try it, I guess, ultimately. I mean, the light is going on and off outside. Somewhat the sun is coming in and out the clouds. But no, when I was there in May, so I mean, I've sampled quite a lot of wellbeing practices over the years. And as a breathwork practitioner myself, like, you know, I hold sessions for people. But what I loved specifically, not only trying different things, but I think it was a breathwork, a sound bath, and then ecstatic dance, like one after the other. So it was like 3 in a row. And I just felt amazing after those 3 sessions. I just felt like every cell in my body was just like lit up. I mean, it was just the best feeling ever.
Yes, yeah. No, the love, I mean, we're lucky. There's really lots of lovely people that we're collaborating with, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's some lovely people in our area doing some amazing things. So we're very fortunate, I think, in the Northeast. It's like once you start digging into there is a lot of people doing some really great work. Just got to get your little sniffer dog out and find it.
Exactly. But I think that's what's wonderful also about what you've created, because it's not just about bringing people in to kind of provide them with, try this, what about this? You know, basically come with an open mind, whatever speaks to you, or maybe what scares you. Like, why don't you, give yourself the opportunity to step into it. But I think the other thing that I've noticed, you know, as somebody who's going to be taking part in the event and doing a talk, is just how you've created then even a community of practitioners where you kind of go in, let's support each other. And that's amazing too.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
We're encouraging, and I'm lightly encouraging in emails. Reach out to each other.
Absolutely. I think that's the wonderful thing, that we're not in competition with each other, because everybody gravitates to different people for different reasons. And like you said, some people like to learn by doing, other people like to learn by listening or watching. And it's just meeting them where they're at, and not saying that it's wrong or right, but just to say, look, it's here for your taking. Like, go for it.
And you get along with different people for different reasons, don't you? It's like it could be like people are offering exactly the same thing, but you like the way that one held the space more, or you like that one because they explained it better than the way that you understood. So I think it all works. Yeah. And if we can help each other more, the world will be a better place anyway.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with that. So I'm curious, what are some of the wellbeing practices that you now do that you thought you would never do?
Ooh, that I would never do. None of them were even on the radar for me. Like so.
You do quite a bit, to be honest.
Do I? I think compared to some people, I'm quite tame.
Yeah, but
compared to you, I do more maybe.
Yeah. So like with me, it's more cold plunging for me, because obviously I fit floors for a living. I'm a floor fitter. And I'm 44, and it's not easy. So then basically now it's more about body recovery and just, like stopping me muscles aching pretty much. And then, like I say, but then when obviously coming with the group and more people doing it, it's just been better than what I could have thought, to be honest. Doing a little bit more exercise as well, which helps.
Absolutely.
I think it's
cold
water though. It's like you've got, I think with some of the places that we've been, it's like you've got that sense of community, and it's very positive. Do you know what I mean? You're encouraging each other to go out for a nice day. You're encouraging each other to get in the water and to stay in there, and how you feel, and the banter's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing. It's not just the water; it's the whole thing that kind of comes with
it.
It's a nice positive day. It's nice. Yeah.
No, it's funny. So obviously I'm from Sunderland, so I'm from south of the river. I now live in Cullercoats, north of the river, but I live really, really close to Cullercoats Bay, and so I'm in the sea most days. And I talk to people. But I talk to people, and I say that you will never see a miserable person come out of that sea.
Yeah,
they're always beaming and laughing and whooping, and it's just feel good immersion, like totally.
The first one I'd done was January. I went straight in the cold, and honestly, I was high as a kite when I come out.
Oh, the endorphins are like out of this world. Yeah,
you're pinging. You're pinging.
It's literally getting high.
You can't explain it until people do it, and they just need to get over that fear.
Yeah, exactly.
It's way worse than what it is.
Yeah.
Well, and I think this is I joke with people, and I've probably told you this, but because I've taken quite a few people into the sea, and often, so I've got, university friends that are kind of in Manchester and down that way. And so I say, well, if you're coming up, you're on the proviso that you come in the sea with me. And so often I'll say to them, well, if you, because they'll go, oh, I don't know, I don't think it's for me. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. If you don't want to experience an all over body orgasm, don't try it. Just don't try it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then that's usually where they go, no, hold on, let's not be hasty.
You definitely sold it on them there.
But to your point, if you don't go in, you don't know.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think other things that you like with your pool and your football and things like that. Now, they don't sound like well-being practices, but I think you in community, it's you like these places where it's very supportive, community-based activities.
Yeah.
It's like, so I think you get a huge kind of switch off and things from that.
I'm very competitive as well. Like, I'm terrible.
Just a tad.
But no, it is though, because like I say, as long as you're in any group with like-minded people, you're going to get the best out of yourself and other people. And like I say again, it's networking. good people. You meet good people everywhere, and it's just, I think now I'm on like a little mission just to keep meeting people, and just, you know what I mean? And just that's.
I love that, because it's connection, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people talk, like, if I mention networking to people, it's like, oh, but I'm like, I call it connection clubs, because all it is creating connection, and you either connect or you don't, and that's fine. But I think that's wonderful, and I think we're wired to connect, and I think one of the reasons why we suffer with our mental health sometimes is because we're isolating ourselves and maybe not doing the things that light us up. So it sounds like with that self-care, you've both kind of done more stuff that helps you both.
I think also having like little things to look forward to.
Yes,
you know,
it's huge.
We now pretty much every Sunday do a cold dip somewhere. We've been to like Cramel Lane, Spout. We're just picking a spot and going. But it's like, it's like I say, it's just having that adventure. I just think every Sunday. I think it's totally changed, like the way I used to look at a weekend. So like I think, oh, it's Sunday, it's the last day of my weekend. Now it's like I can't wait for Sunday. And it's just how your mindset is, isn't it? It's just
totally
how you perceive it.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. It is. It's getting outside, getting in the fresh air, do something different, have something to look forward to, connect with other people, have fun. And like almost kind of, because being an adult can get really too serious, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's far too serious.
That was,
I agree with that.
I've
been serious. Well, I was serious for way too long.
That was a big core value for you when we started this, though, wasn't it? Fun.
I need to have some fun. Yeah.
That was a big thing, and we have really. So,
hence that's the reason for the stupid little videos and things every now and then, because we're just like, how do we just have a laugh while promoting things?
Yeah.
So don't get us wrong. Sometimes it's a bit of a how we're tying it back to what we're doing. But I think it's just you just want to have a bit of a laugh with it. Don't take yourselves too seriously. You know, because it's like your responsibility of the day-to-day lives. It can get quite a bit, can't it? Oh, I've got my hands again moving.
I know, don't worry, I'm the same. Amy. So for this event,
fun in things if you can.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that speaks to me. So Helen, who I spoke to earlier on my podcast this morning, we were talking about shared values, and one of her values is adventure. And one of mine is fun and adventure. Yes. And I think when I burnt out the first time, I realized I'd stopped having fun and I was having no adventure because life just got too serious. And so I think it's that realization that you go, I've been like living by other people's values and I've just lost sight of what lights me up. So no wonder my light's gone out. So we
don't
reigniting.
We should. We kind of prioritize. It's like you get a pat on the back and things. We go, well done. It's like you've accomplished loads of work and you've done all of these things. And it's like we don't praise each other enough for saying, do you know what it is? It's like you went out, you had fun that day, you're a bit laugh, you made it. We don't prioritize those things as much as what we should. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But that's just that keeps you going.
Yeah. But going back to like circles, going back to like finding circles, like meeting people, like what I was saying before, that's only going to encourage this. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, you like since we like obviously again meeting, it's just nothing but like, you know, like go and have fun. Like we're out every Sunday, like we're saying, and it's just so you want to go and meet more, and more fun's going to happen. And again, it's just
you put yourself in that environment to invite it in.
Yes.
I'm getting wrong at the minute though for taking out of him.
Oh, she's terrible. She keeps catching us with little snippets on her phone. She like sets us up and then just lets us go and then records it.
You said. I'm just the one that has the phone.
You're just capturing the magic moments. Yeah. That's what's happening. So this Sunday, for people who are curious and maybe who haven't heard of Vibrant to Wellness and Beamish Hall Hotel, maybe who've never actually been, and it's just such a beautiful building and grounds and surroundings. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. First and foremost, like, what are you guys most excited about?
That's not the answer, is it? What am I excited about? I think with Mamie, too many things probably. It's one, you get to see people, so it's like planning events and things like this. there's actually a lot of stuff that's done behind the scenes. So I don't, most of the time I'm sitting at a computer, do you know what I mean? So I don't actually get to see people and engage with people. So I think it's seeing people coming and going, do they like that? Am I actually helping anybody connect with anything? So I get really excited. It sounds really stalkery, but but seeing if people actually enjoy the day, do you know what I mean? It's like seeing if we're actually making a difference, if it's actually our little vision and things is working. So I massively enjoy connecting with people and watching them.
Yeah.
Watching people.
And I think just for me, it's just like I said, bringing that many people together, and just seeing, like, 'cause last time, like I say,
It felt electric, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
Like, the atmosphere, the vibe, it was brilliant, and
It did.
you just want to feel that, see that again. I think so.
Yeah. It was just, I think it was like the little moments that I liked. It was, you saw strangers complimenting each other. They were going, hey, have you tried this? Just like people just talking and connecting all over the place and smiling. And that's what gave me a big buzz as well. Because I just think it was like, when do you go somewhere where strangers start talking to each other and start complimenting each other and recommending things? It broke down like a lot of social barriers and things, I think. That's how it felt from my perspective.
You got a lot of good feedback, though. You got like a few messages saying, like, thank you, I've been stuck in the house for a while and stuff like that.
I was the next day I was crying, or the next day I hid under the duvets crying.
That must have felt awesome. Well, no, but that must have felt so awesome, especially given that you both, you know, this all came out of a dark place. Like, I have a saying that sometimes we need to dive for light. So you need to kind of go into the darkness to come out the other side. Because I think sometimes, you know, good things do come out of challenging situations. Like, that is how we grow. But I think, you know, also, if we get stuck in like stagnant waters, right, that's also where we suffer. So I think sometimes this is hence why my podcast exists, which is if we can help people look at change in a different way and kind of go, actually, it's an adventure. And actually, it's going to be hard and challenging sometimes, but there's something pulling me through. There's something that's going to be like even more amazing that I just wouldn't have ever imagined. And how wonderful to receive like beautiful comments like that. Yeah, that must feel really uplifting.
Yeah, no, it was. It was just, I think it's overwhelming as well, though, at the same time. It's kind of, because you're like, you don't feel, at least one of my things is you don't feel deserving of it. You're just like, I just chucked a bunch of, that sounds terrible, I just chucked a bunch of people in a room. You know what I mean? But you kind of do. It's like you feel like you're not responsible for it, and we're not mainly. I just think it's that little concoction of everybody playing their part is what makes it so magic, isn't it?
That's it.
It's like the people on the door smiling, to the workshops smiling, to the people on the floor. It's like, I think everybody must decide in those places to, like, you know what, I'm going to show up as the best me today.
But I think that's
lush.
I think that's the beauty of it, though. Like we kind of just set it up and let it go. And like and the type of people that are here, it kind of looks after itself, because people are just doing what there was no worry about anything going, because it was just mint people having a good time. So
yes, yeah.
That should be a strap line. Mint people having a good time. The Northeast charm. But no, it's true what you say. It's totally true what you say. Because, like, for me, I mean, I'm obviously from Sunderland, like I say, but I've lived in different countries. I've kind of left the Northeast. And I think what I see coming back to the Northeast is that actually just what a magic community we do have. And that, yes, we work hard and play hard, right? Which can sometimes be to our deficit. But I think there's just it's a big beating heart at the Northeast. And I just think that the fact that you guys have created a container, like exactly what you said, it's a co-creation. So you've kind of created the space, and then people come in and want to share it and want to make it even better and want to build it. So it happens naturally. It flows.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's organic. Magical. So when you think about some of or do you want to, obviously for people watching, and we're going to add in the links in terms of the agenda for the day so people can see, you know, what's going on. But what are some of the workshops that you kind of got feedback on last time that like people had amazing results or experiences with? or that you did yourself?
I think, I mean, there was all sorts of, again, not to, I can't really put it down to, oh, this is like this stood hands and things above the rest, because I think everybody took different things from different experiences. What were some of the things that they probably liked the best? I think one of the things that I thought is that people were willing to try things that they hadn't tried before, which was one of the things that I found really lovely. They were prepared to try all of those different things. But I think maybe the sound bath went really well, the breath work went really well. Reiki shocked us, and that was one of the things that people actually even going to know what Reiki is. But there was loads of people trying a shared Reiki circle and things under the tree. So I think it's again, I wouldn't say it's anything, because I think people just engage with different things for different reasons. It was like the guided meditation and things, or the walk around the guided meditation walk outside went really well. The ice baths, they said they had record numbers through the baths.
Yep.
There'd never been that many people and things through at previous events. There was 200 people went through the ice baths. So I think, I wouldn't say it's any one thing. I think, again, the joy of the event is there's those little nuggets of everything going on.
Everybody showed up, didn't they? Just like everybody had a go, or everybody's, it's just...
Yes. We've changed the talks and things up, I think, a little bit this time.
Yes.
So last time I probably went a little bit niche too much into some areas. And what we tried to think of a little bit more this time is what's accessible to people within
Oh, I think we've frozen. Technology is against us. Are you there? Oh, you've frozen in mid hand gesture. I'm going to fill the gap because I feel like I'm still live. So I think what Amy is describing is that, you know, the fact that these talks are offering so much more in the way of plant medicine. I think there is a guy that's talking about psychedelics, about mushrooms. There's a number of different people that are coming in and talking about all of these different things, which is, you know, amazing to have access to people who specialize in certain areas. Oh, I think we're going to try and
Christina.
It's all right, don't worry. We're back on. It's all good.
He says it's arms waving all over the place again.
Right. There we go. We're fine. So you were saying about the talks that you've basically changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think last time I thought there would be lots of people going and things for the talks, but I think it wasn't the fact that it was the talks that was the thing with the last ones. I think I made some of the subjects potentially inaccessible to people's everyday things. So we've tried to pick subjects this time that are relatable, but then at the same time, some of them that are that little bit more pushing the board out, that little bit more, a little different, a little bit less mainstream as well. So we'll see how those go as well. Because I'm a great believer in sitting and having conversations and things with people, listening to some people's stories and see what's going on that way as well. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it gives people the chance then just to kind of, like you say, ask some more questions, or, you know, if they are struggling with something, if they're kind of open to it, just to kind of go, do you know what, I'm curious, I don't know what that means or what that involves, and then they can, And
then I know with the practitioners and things like that, they're able to stay for a little while and things afterwards. So again, you're going to have that time where you can have conversation with them outside of the talk space as well. So I think that's really going to be really nice for people, because then they can get personal, especially if they've been facing some challenges or they just want that little bit of advice. That'll be lovely, I think.
Well, I was inspired. When I got talking, I was hearing stories from different people. And one of the most inspiring one was Abby from the ice bath.
Yes.
She was really ill with Crohn's, and basically her dad had said, oh, do ice baths, it'll help. And she never for a few years. And then she looked at the Wim Hof retreat, and she looked at the price, thought, I can't afford that. And then she put in for a competition and won £10,000 the week after, and paid for her and her dad to go to Wim Hof, right?
Oh, wow.
Honestly, unbelievable. I was just like, I was blown away. And then her first ice bath was 15 minutes with Wim Hof. And she said she felt like something had left her body. Honestly, I was just like, what is going on? I know. So like, I was hearing little stories of different people all day. And I think that was what
One of the
blew
highlights
me
for you.
away. Aye.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
No,
It
I
was
love that.
We were talking all the time, weren't it? It was nice.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know whether you've thought of this, but God, and whether it was part of like the first one, but even just people sharing their stories, like writing it down or posting them. I think there's power in that, isn't there? Of like what they've maybe overcome or an experience that they've had.
Yeah. I think the first one, when we were doing the first plans for the first one, the idea was to have a big conversation table where it was head by Paul is like a psychotherapist and things like that, trying to get people to talk. But we were a little bit nervous of, would some people go there and not say anything? Would other people talk too much and it would become dominated? We couldn't really get our heads around how that was going to work. But I think in the line for the future to try and think about, if we are good vibrations, conscious community, how do we create an experience where we bring everybody together? Because it's like during the day, you are off and you're in the wellbeing office, you're in the talks, you're in the workshops. How do we do something where we bring everybody together just to have that little united moment? But I'll try and think of that later.
No, exactly. But I think that's the beautiful thing about what you guys created, because it's going to evolve, isn't it? And ideas are going to come up and things are just going to naturally kind of happen as a result. So thank you both for you starting it. I mean, I'm just really, really glad that, you know, it's a thing. You've created a thing that is got legs.
Got a nice little shop thing.
You've created a brilliant thing. But yeah, just to create that space. And I think that's, you know, fundamentally what I got from coming to the event in May, which is just two people that just are beaming with joy and fun and just wanting to bring people together. And I think that in itself is infectious, you know, the fact that you've just kind of created that and
creating awareness of things as well is a big thing. Like, you know, like getting more people to know about stuff, sharing people's businesses, this, you know, and I think that's a big one, isn't it, as well? Because what we were saying, from right around our area, there's not a lot of
it's not accessible. People don't know about it.
Yeah.
It's like within my family, you say well-being to them, and going, "What's well-being, Amy? Like, what are you actually doing? What does that word actually mean?" But that's my family. There's loads of families in the area that's probably like that. So we're getting. And it's just.
Oh, I think we're frozen again. The vibes are just too high. We've just blasted it out.
Oh, bless you.
Ah, we're back again. It's all part of the adventure. What were you saying, Chris? Oh, to me, to you. Oh, I think we're frozen again. Well, hopefully, those who are watching this back anyway, you can get a feel for the event and that there's so many things to try between workshops and talks and all of the different kinds of things. There's going to be a lot of local trades there as well. Oh, are we back? We're back. We're not back.
You've done quite well for sitting still, actually.
We're back. We're back. I was just ad-libbing while it froze for you guys to come back on. What were you saying, Chris, about supporting businesses? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, not just raising awareness of like all the different practices and businesses and groups and you know, even if they just hear that one little thing that might appeal to them, you know, it could be life changing, couldn't it? Because like I say, you sit in the house, you're not doing much, you work and you're coming in, you're not having fun like what we were saying before, and then like I say, meeting groups and meeting more people is just gonna just help, isn't it?
It is, but there is some fantastic little local businesses in the area doing some great things.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've also figured out with this event and things from speaking to people, some of them are absolutely fantastic at what they do, but the lack sometimes, like the ability to put themselves out on social, because it's like a small independent businesses, which is what most of them are. They struggle sometimes with, I'm not great at social, I'm nervous about networking, and they don't put themselves out there. But they've got some absolutely fantastic products, and they're great at what they do when they're doing what they do. Do you know what I mean? So it's sometimes creating a space. And what I've been trying to do is kind of work with people to say, right, okay, let us come and take a picture of you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you can't, let us take a little video of while we're at it, and trying to kind of nudge them along a little bit to say, do you know what it is? You need to get yourself out there, because you're bloody fantastic. And as soon as people know about you, do you know what I mean? You're going to attract more business. You're going to get those clients and things coming to you. And I think as well, if we can, when we're in this space as well, encourage and show up for each other while we're here, do you know what I mean? It can make a difference. There was one lady last time, she delivered workshops and things, but only to small audiences. And when she came and did this, she stood up in a room full of 150 people, and she knocked the ball out of the park, and it was absolutely inspiring to watch. Do you know what I mean? And for the rest of the day, she was up on the top of the tree. I couldn't get her back down. Do you know what I mean? She was buzzing. But it just showed you sometimes it was pushing yourself past that fear barrier of what you think you're capable of doing, to then just say, you know what, I'm getting out of my head and I'm just going to do what I do. And then bloody hell, you can shine so bright. You know what I mean? It was that gave me goosebumps and things on the day. I was round a bush crying at one point, because I was like, look how good she's doing. It was amazing. Do you know what I mean? Some of them, it takes your breath away a little bit. It's beautiful to watch that people going through that feedback. We did in the morning. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? When we stood up and we did a little bit of a talk. I mean, I spent the early 15 minutes on the bloody toilet. I was like, whoa, what we're going to do? What we're going to do here? How we're going to talk? But then at the end of it, that set me off for the day. But you know what? It's just in my head. I stood up. Yes, I didn't get my words right. Do you know what I mean? No, but perfect. Who cares? It's like we did it anyway, and the day was great. So it was, like you were saying earlier, sometimes you fear, if you push past that, is this a wonderful feeling? Do you know what I mean? Of get in there, I can do it. Yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, I've rambled there, Christine.
No. I've
got a bit excited.
I absolutely love what you said, Amy. And I can speak personally as somebody who publicly speaks. And when I first started, I was scared as hell a lot of the time. And I'm still naturally nervous. But I think to have a supportive community and an event person to be able to kind of go, do you know what? I believe in you, and come and prove it and just shine your light. And I think the other thing that I often say, because I work with, entrepreneurs and other coaches and like business owners that have just been recently diagnosed with ADHD or another like neurodiverse thing. And it's about knowing themselves at a deeper level, and then really giving themselves like the grace and space to kind of go, you know what, nothing's perfect, as you said, Chris, but just putting yourself out there and going, let's just see what happens. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but if you don't try, then you'll never know, kind of thing.
Oh no, you never get that feel anyway. Yeah. But no, it's lovely. We've got like some practitioners again from this time who came the first time and who had the small group and then had the big group. You can see them as well now, egging on some of the new people who haven't done it, which is really sweet as well.
Nice.
Like, I think I'm going, you know what? They were in your shoes before. Reach out to them and figure out like, what did they do? How did they get through it? Invite them into the room and things with you, and they can help you if you stumble and things a little bit. Yeah. It's lovely to see that happening as well. Yeah.
I love it, because it's all about collaboration and helping each other, isn't it? It's not about, well, I'm going to do my thing and stuff you all. It's not that at all. It's like, actually, I want to share
together.
Yeah. No, well, I love it. Thank you so much, both of you, for just being so open and just yourselves. And it's just a beautiful thing that you've created with Vibe into Wellness. As we've mentioned, we're going to include all the links. So there's half-day tickets, isn't there? So people can do a morning, afternoon, or a full day. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So I think it's 11 till 3 or 11 till 2, sorry, or 3 till 6. All day. Yeah.
And
you
for
can
people
like the social pages, so you can just see what's right for you, see what you want to try, whether it talks or workshops, and that's a full day or a half day, whichever way works best for people.
I know. I must admit, I've really struggled, because I'm like, well, I want to go to that and that.
I can't believe We can't do
We
any
can't
of
do
them.
anything.
Like, it's absolutely heartbreaking. It's like, isn't it?
Let's tag team it.
So,
Oh, you're just doing it for the love, and it's just a beautiful thing to behold. So thank you again for coming on and just sharing the background, and I know people have been so curious, so I know that they're going to enjoy hearing all of that. So really looking forward to seeing you both in person on Sunday, and if anybody's got any questions who's watching, get in touch. Sorry?
Thank you for being on board with the event. It's like, it's lovely to have you, like, going from a guest and then showing up and participating this time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and then thank you for holding this. It's like, I don't think I've had a heart attack, so I'm still alive.
I was going to say you survived it, even through internet connection issues, but hey, it's all good. It's all gravy. It's all fine.
There's no needles in our hands, though.
I know. I have to sit on my hands because I talk with my hands a lot, and I've had to kind of be more reserved. But we would have that problem in person on Sunday, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, thank you. Have a lovely day.
Yes, you too. You too. I'm going to say goodbye to the people on the live stream, but you guys stay put.